here. Just had a couple things on my mind. Uh, First thing is having a big event on November the 18th here at my place, at my shop. All the blacksmiths are welcome to come. Anybody that can make the trip. It's in my shop in Broadway, Virginia. You can get details at www.alexanderbrothers.com. We're creating a landing page for the event. It is an event featuring demonstrator Ellen Durkin, and she's going to be forging on Saturday, November 18th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. She is an excellent traditional blacksmith and blacksmithing skills instructor. We're also going to have Caitlin Morris here teaching. She's going to hold a hammer skills technique clinic, hammer skills and technique clinic. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. It's kind of a last minute event. There was another venue that was going to be hosting Ellen, and due to certain circumstances, they did not want to push out any marketing for her. I think it was some discrimination going on, but I don't want to get too much into that. So I decided to pick up the pieces and invited Ellen out to my place and invite the blacksmithing community. We're going to have a lot of fun at my shop. Right now, I'm guessing we could have as many as, 200 people. We'll see how this thing goes. I'm calling it the Noel Putnam Memorial Event just because I want to honor Noel, and he passed away earlier this year, and my shop is primarily tools that I purchased off of Noel. So again, Ellen and Caitlin will both be here. Something else that I wanted to talk about. I had to make a hard decision today. I was approached 8 months ago by a very well-known, let's just say he's known worldwide, a national celebrity, someone that I would be honored to do work for. And this job was one of those, once in a lifetime type opportunities to develop a relationship and potentially get more work. And so, hi John, I see you on there. So I was really excited about this job for this nationally known figure. I'm not going to say who he is. Originally, I was going to do the job with my friend Noel Putnam before he passed. After Noel passed, the client wanted me to continue the work, and the work was for an important public building. And so I started doing some designs and sketches for the job, super excited about it. Well, the design stage kind of took a turn when the client decided he wanted to go a direction that I did not feel was within my principles as a blacksmith. I don't want to give away too many details, but basically I just didn't get the vision. It just didn't vibe with me, and I would have had to kind of break some of my principles to do it. I told him, yeah, I want to do the job, but the more I got into it and tried to put pencil to paper, I was like, this just isn't right. And I had to make a hard decision, but I was worried that if I told him no, I would lose this opportunity for good, and I would lose this relationship with a nationally, known figure. So it was a really hard decision to make. But ultimately I decided, I need to follow my gut, follow my heart. So I called him up today, and I just told him the truth. I said, listen, I got to be honest with you. I was excited to work with you on this project. Noel and I were going to do it together, and unfortunately that's not going to happen. And I still want to work with you, but if, because of the way you want to take this job, it's just too much of a scope drift away from what I'm passionate about, traditional ironwork and um, it was going to involve a lot of things that weren't ironwork. And I told him I felt like, unless he decided to do ironwork like I wanted to do, that I was just not going to do the job. Very, very hard decision. And thankfully, he said, wow, he said, it's hard to find honest people these days, and I appreciate your honesty. I respect your principles. And he told me that if they decide to do any ironwork, I would be the first person that he comes to. And he extended an invitation for me to come to his home and see his ironwork collection. So kind of had a big relief, like this weight lifted off of my shoulders at that point. I know I did the right thing. I followed my gut, followed my heart on the project. And so, there's always another opportunity. My mom used to tell me, because I like to shop for deals. I'm always looking for deals, and I'll find a deal on a new tool or something like that. And my mom used to tell me as a kid, she'd say, Drew, there's always another deal. And I think that's true. A lot of times we feel like we have to do something because it's, this opportunity is once in a lifetime and it's never going to come again. But you got to stick to your principles. You have to do what your gut and your heart says you have to do. And even if it's scary, you got to make that hard decision. And that's what I did today. So I just want to share that. I don't know if it would help anybody, but I'm trying these live things out. Like I said before, I sit in my shop often in the evenings, and I thought that I could spend some time with my few YouTube viewers. If you guys are interested, you can ask me questions. See a couple people on here. Thomas, howdy, and John. John does tremendous work. I've seen his work; it's really good. John Brunel. So I hope some of you can make it out to the event, November 18th. Ellen Durkin's going to be here. Caitlin Morris is going to be here. I heard Lee Morrow might show up from Abana. He's the president of Abana. That would be cool. I rented a big tent, like a huge canopy, just in case we get rain. I'm going to clean my shop out and make sure we've got extra space. And we're going to have a food truck. We're going to have, I think there's a few people coming Friday night to camp out. There's going to be tailgating. A forging competition. I'm going to come up with a flyer probably tomorrow, the forging competition. It's only 3 weeks out, but what we're going to do is I'm encouraging everyone to bring a hand forged item for the Iron in the Hat. All the proceeds are going to be used to give back to Virginia Institute of Blacksmithing, who is financing the event. And the way the forging competition will work is you submit it to the Iron in the Hat. You say, this is for the forging competition. It'll get a special tag, and it's people's choice. So the cup with the most tickets, most raffle tickets, is going to be first place. And then we'll have second place and third place. And John Elliott with Blacksmith Supply is very kind to donate some tongs for that, for prizes. Caitlin Moore said that she would maybe donate something. So I think it's going to be really cool. We also have a treadle hammer that was donated by one of our local guild members, and that will be auctioned off. Also, Ellen Durkin is going to auction off the piece that she forges, the demo piece. So pretty excited about that. Let's see, what else? Thomas says, I'm out in my shop working on my sign bracket for a blacksmith challenge I have going with a few friends. That's pretty cool. I think it's great, when guys go out into their shop late at night and work. I do it all the time. I was at an event this past weekend doing some blacksmithing demos, and I was talking to a guy that said he was worried that if he went full time with his passion is woodworking, and he said he was worried that if he went full time with woodworking, he would lose his love for it, and that it would, if it wasn't a hobby, he would somehow lose his passion for woodworking. And I get that fear. I used to think that with blacksmithing. But I'll tell you what, for me, I blacksmithing's been a passion of mine for 21 years. And even though I have, day-to-day projects that I do, when, it's late at night and I want to, I'm inspired, I still go out to my shop and I do work for fun. I haven't lost that love for blacksmithing. So if you're worried about losing your love or passion for blacksmithing if you go full time, I would say that if you really love it, that's not going to happen, and you're still going to do projects for fun. Even if you're doing it full time, you're still going to want to get out and experiment and try new things. And like this weekend, I wanted to do some calla lilies, and I did some calla lilies. First time I'd ever done them. I had a blast. Ended up selling one of them. I have some that I'm going to donate to the Iron in the Hat raffle at the event on November 18th. So I might even do a YouTube video on how to forge lilies. I think that would be pretty neat. John Brunel says, I tell everyone I already have 195 I can't stand and don't want blacksmithing to feel that way. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't think that, I don't think that that's a concern. I thought that way a long time, but now that I'm in it and I've been full time for a little bit, I went part time, three days a week blacksmithing in 2015, full time in 21, and I still just love going out to the shop and playing around, doing things, doing challenges, going to forging competitions, things like that. So anyway, that's what I got to say tonight. I'm hoping that these late night lives would be interesting to people, and maybe people would jump on and ask me some questions. If you're in the Virginia area, I sell coal. I don't know if anybody's looking for coal. I get coal from Lowell and Lonnie Burns, which is it's coming out of West Virginia. It's the same coal that Colonial Williamsburg uses, and my brothers and I carry it. We sell it by the bag. And if anybody's interested, that they can contact me. If you're in the Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania area and you want to make the trip, please hit me up. It's a good coal. It comes with a lab sheet. I have a lab spec sheet where it says how much ash and all the specs on the coal. And I get the larger, like a nut size coal. I really like it. It doesn't have much dust in it. It cakes really well. I don't feel like I get excessive amount of clinker or anything like that. So I'm just putting that out there if it could help anybody. But hope to see some of you at our event. And that's all I got for now. So y'all have a good night. Hey, one more thing. Thomas Goodmoot says, I work at Christ Centered Ironworks 3 days a week, Monday through Wednesday, and love when I come out to my shop every chance I can. That's awesome. I didn't know you guys work together. That's pretty cool. John Brunel, do you do non-traditional work, arc welding and such? Yeah, I do a lot of contemporary work. The way I do my work is I talk to the client, find out what they want, and then I draw a sketch or a picture. And a lot of times the designs I come up with, you really got to use an electric welder to make them affordable a lot of times. So if you look at some of my work, I use a lot of leaves, and I'll forge the leaf. I'll make a whole pile of them, scale on the welds, grind it, use a die grinder, and then I'll pop the scale off the weld and clean it up so you can't see the weld. I do that a lot. Yeah, I'm not just doing traditional work, but I do as much as I can. I've got a job coming up potentially that's going to be like on the side of somebody's house, and due to weight, I need to use a lot of sheet metal, and it's going to be painted bright colors. So yeah, I think it's good to explore both. Hope that answers your question, John. Thanks everybody. I'm out.